Alright, everybody. Welcome back to the Pale Beyond. We're at, week 15 here, and I'm pretty sure week 22 is when winter comes. So we still have a few days. Small group of winter penguins have wandered near camp. You notice Mr. Gloss and Mrs. Gloss studying them closely. Look, dear, penguins, how extraordinary. Astounding, this must be their first sighting. This must be the first sighting of the rookie. That Kurt, he doesn't know what he's on about. Wasn't his own little world he is. Must think it's still 30 years ago. Man begged and pleaded to even be here, just to feel important. Don't know what you're doing listening to them, Captain. Suppose that's none of my business, though. Who goes in, we stay alive. Aye. So, 2 of our crew are still freezing. That's fine. Kurt, do you seem afraid of the steady dogs?
Well, are you?
No.
Have you ever owned a dog as a pet?
No. Family doesn't sever cats.
Be made. I'd be more afraid of those clawed beasties before I feared a little pup.
I suppose you're right. Alright. Dogs. Alright, now we need to throw penguins in the hoosh pot. I mean, we do have an elephant seal still. Jeez. So many penguins we had to throw in there. And then now the fuel through the furnace. There's our last bits of coal. But the coal did last us at least a few weeks. I mean, it's more than a few weeks. It was actually quite some time, but still, it lasted us a while. Our time to take requests. It's now midday. Penguin? Nipper Penguin wanders into the tent. Squawk. Templeton looks at you confused. Captain? He watches you carefully. Penguin? An Emperor Penguin wanders into the tent. Squawk. Templeton looks unamused. Ridiculous. He watches you carefully. An Emperor Penguin wanders into the tent. Squawk. Templeton looks at the bird begrudgingly. Shoo. He watches you carefully. Alright, Mr. Zack. Captain, last week's ice fishing was quite a success. We were able to gather a decent haul with some patience. Good to hear. Thank you for providing the manpower. Some extra rations will certainly come in handy. Captain, a truly urgent request. Or perhaps not urgent, but, well, inspiration struck. Collect yourself, Mrs. Gloss. Right, well, this is a perfect opportunity to write a proper study of the birds of this region. Yes, that some scientist team be allowed to write up the findings. This may risk us losing the opportunity to harvest as many of them for resources as possible. Sorry, we need you for other tasks. I suppose I'll have to wait. A shame. Opportunity like this only knocks once. At least not demoralized. Haven't. Captain, we need to talk about last week. I know you took the Navigator's seat, but you really need to think this through. I'm telling you, we won't last if we don't hunker down for winter starting next week. We've already spoken about this. Leave it be. Fine. But don't say I didn't warn ya. Penguins. Assign crew hunting the entire colony. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1 scout. 6. There we go. So the 6 available crew members, the entire remaining crew set to slaughter the colony. So you two do get demoralized if I kill the entire colony. Well, anyways, we still do need to get some things. We have 3 crew members left, which they're all going to become freezing if I send them on a sled hunt. York the 3rd. 4 crew members will become freezing here. Along with -10 decorum. We still do have 2 frozen crewmates who I'm going to have Arthur fix. Kurt and Mr. Hammond are still at odds, I see. The engineer and the navigator butting heads. That's not a good sign, is it? They're smart men. They're smart men, Doctor. I'm sure they'll reach a peaceful agreement in time. I'd hope so. There's no need to worry, this will pass. Before I joined this expedition, I was concerned on how my report would be received. I was certain the wreck makes for a more interesting story. Before that, it feels like an interest in great explorers is waning. Is waning. Perhaps we can renew that interest. That's what I'm hoping for. Grew up in those tales. Don't know anything about them. Others may not care these days, but they stick with me. Hope another child latches onto these stories. Good evening, Captain. I escaped to talk with Kurt over dinner. Had to ask about my plans for the future. I don't know what to say. Understandable now. Most of all, we should be focusing on the present. Agreed. It's hard to think about years ahead when we can barely look into the future. If I can answer it properly in the future, that'll be the first step of the plan. And that makes sense. First step of the plan is to figure out what the bloody plan is. Wait, yeah, so eventually we'll just literally just start taking penguins out of here for fuel. But right now there's a lot to do and we don't have many resources left. But those crew members that we would not be able to send to go get Emperor Penguins can now get Emperor Penguins. Those two are bickering over dinner. Hammond and Kurt. Both of them are talking shite. So much to talk to them. I know when a punch-up is brewing. Do me a favor, Shaw. If I don't make it back with the rest of you, I'll take her out Grimly. Losing Hud's one thing, but both of us. I'll try, Junior, I can promise you that. Hey, thanks. I'm sure he said it well. Deserve that much, at least. Arf. Ain't at me dinner, are ya? You ain't getting a sniff of this. Get running back to your master. Alright, just a bite. Reading something? Yes, a book on poetry. Can you read one? On poetry, not of poetry. It's an analysis of techniques. Oh, I've always wanted to read. Is that so? You wouldn't mind helping me, would you? Suppose I could lend you a book, something simple. Thank you. Was thinking, if I die, the crew is dead. My work would be wasted if it ends up going under. Captain, if I go, you better keep them alive. I'm not keen on dying for nothing. Promise you, Hammond. Nothing you do will be in vain. Better not be. I don't ask much, Captain, but I ask you this. I trust you better than most in the ice. Kurt and the Moment are still going at it. Not surprised. The chief don't been in disagreements. Maybe he should. Simple apology with all the rest of us to return to work without issue. What makes you believe that Hammond should be the one apologizing? Common sense. Well, it's not really common sense, it's that you're just taking Hammond's side because he's your boss, and they're taking Kurt's side because he's their boss. Nice dogs. And I've work to do, child. What are their names? The one you're petting, that's Maxwell. It's a person's name, isn't it? Are they all that boring? No. Captain, there's a matter we should bring to your attention. I intend to... Why is everybody thinking like, I've never thought about this before. What if I die? I must tell the captain. And if I die, he must do this. Junior, Hammond, and Cordell. Either the makers of these were like, I wonder when we should put in the characters like, if I die, you should do this, Captain. And they decided to throw it all in at once, as all three characters just happen to have the same idea. Well, if the worst should occur, then I wish the crew to be left without a Killmaster. Good idea, Cordell, but let's hope it doesn't come to that. Thank you. I will ensure someone suitable is chosen. But we will speak more on this later. This is your time to rest, correct? Alright. Sure. If anything happens to me, make sure Junior has me accordion. It's all I've got to give. I'll make sure of that grimly. Alright. There we go, we have everybody's loyalty except for, I think, Cordalis. No, everybody's loyal to me. And Runt's loyal to Grimly, he doesn't count. But everybody's loyal to me, and the only people who aren't fully loyal are Templeton, Hammond, basically everybody but Nutley. And Kasha and Kurt. Oh, and Junior, he's almost pretty loyal to me though. Good evening to you, Captain. Apologies for the distractions. I was enjoying a textbook. Shouldn't you be more concerned with Kurt and Hammond? They're at each other's necks. I think that means their snipping and bickering has not ceased. A shame, but there's much action we can take this evening. With any luck, the men who have gotten their amusement out of their system. Or something out of their system. For long, regardless. This is the first textbook I ever read when entering the field of botany. I'm more familiar with it front to back. Still, it's more beneficial to reacquaint myself with my field of expertise, particularly when I have spent so much time now removed from it. I still find it odd that we were tasked with science office, that you're tasked with him. So would you recommend this text? Well, it can be quite dense for most, but yes, feel free to pursue it if you wish. Do you know why plant life interests me to this degree, Captain? As much to study, I imagine you would struggle to run out of information on them. Quite right. Plants' primary goal is to ensure the continuous survival of the species. Now, that's true. You see, vegetables are actually kind of poisonous, and they have like toxins in them that bind to nutrients, making them unusable. And they also produce their own natural pesticides, versus fruits want to be eaten as it spreads seeds everywhere. Because the vegetable itself is the plant, versus the fruit is just the seeds of the plant. Meaning the fruits want to be eaten, the plant itself does not. So yeah, the plant's main goal is to survive. And again, that's just probably why you shouldn't eat vegetables. If you eat vegetables because you don't want to kill animals, I understand, but just don't force everybody else to. If you're eating vegetables because you think you're healthy, you're not. Anyways, back to what Temple was saying. Plant's primary goal is to survive. To ensure the continued survival of the species. If the plant is stationary, vulnerable. What I find truly impressive is how they developed to take advantage of their circumstances. They take advantage of their actions, of others, to ensure their own existence. Take the average apple tree, for instance. Birds come, they feast upon the fruit, and the seeds are stored within, scattered to the ground, ensuring another will grow. Just like I said. Quite an ingenious system, is it not? A form of life so simple has outsmarted just about every other species that would otherwise cause it harm. You know, a single plant and yet not a single plant can survive out here. I think we have them beat there. Yeah, good point, Shaw. Perhaps I take human ingenuity too lightly. Well, I assume the topic is quite the bore for you. I won't keep you much longer, Captain. Sometimes I just can't speak bloody English. I'm not even sure why. Alright, this is Tucker and Cavity talking. They're always talking. There's about 10 these days, isn't it? Not surprised. Time's catching up with us, right? Can't take another week looking at nothing out here but the ice. Right, now Kurt's gonna talk about his death, isn't he? I would think he'd Shaw. If this expedition is indeed the end of the line for Kurt Darling. I know everybody else has said this already. Like, seriously, why are all the characters talking about this all at one time? I wonder how they'll speak to me when I fail to return. What will the newspapers say? I wouldn't worry about newspaper clippings I'll never get to read. They'll hail your return and nothing more. Don't lose faith. Ever the optimist, Captain. Suppose I should think the same, for the crew's sake at least. Funny, isn't it? Whatever what you do in life, you'll never get to see your own legacy. I'm pretty sure you have to die for your legacy to exist. You need to finish developing these. You need to finish cleaning your equipment. I have nobody to send you, and that's the end of this week. And if winter does come before I know it, I'll literally just have everybody, like... Alright, so one crew member developed freezing, so that's 4 in total, which means 2, and then 1 seal. Yeah, this is good. A bit pricey. Yeah, then Mr. Zack, Mrs. Gloss left the, Mr. Gloss. Yeah, Mrs. Gloss. No, is not freezing. Actually, there's only 3. I miscounted by 1, apparently. Alright. Now, we're not allowed to do anything, because I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, yeah, Kasha charges into the tent. Captain Templeton. Out of breath, what is it? It's Colonel Hammond. They're about to knock each other out. Come quick. She bolted out of the tent. Best see to it, Captain. Yep. Rush over to the commotion near the boiler. Do you have any idea how much you're jumping the gun? I know how much you want to keep bloody playing in the snow. Playing, I take my work as seriously as you. You don't actually believe that, do ya? I don't care enough. I know you care enough to go behind my back to the captain. Fine, we'll do things your way. No preparation, no stockpiling. We can all starve to death, but sooner. Great idea. We're not gonna get any more bloody prepared waiting around. You know, hunker down. You're just like feeling useful and you don't want to stop. You don't care about the lives on the line. Of course I do. I've experienced the ice. I know the dangers of winter. You're just too stubborn to do anything anyway but your own. And when you don't get in your own way, you make a big song and dance about it. You can't help yourself. You're a bloody glory hound. Always looking to be the big man. Not hard. Sorry, you can never be the big man. Watch it. It's clear that things quickly turn ugly. What the hell is going on here? Kurt and Hammond notice you. Kurt looks at you before scanning the audience that has assembled. Captain, I'm sorry. Our friend here just can't let the matter go. You're gonna get us killed, you bloody idiot. Not the only one who agrees. I'm not the only one who agrees with this course. You get them killed, get yourself killed, I don't care what you do. Fire your gun in the air. No, it's enough, both of you. Two refuse to listen and continue the argument. You think you're just coming marching into the middle of camp and... Kurt laughs. Marching, but unlike you, it only takes you a few steps, Kate and all. You could have brought yourself in private, but nah. Men like you can't survive on the audience, can ya? I'm trying to be reasonable, Hammond. It's just like the ship. You're incapable of considering anyone else's point of view. Everyone else's point of view isn't 10 feet off the ground. And still up in their own holes. For such a short man, I thought you'd be above name-calling, Hammond. I told you to watch it. You're being heartless, Hammond. Heartless? I'm the bloody one playing it safe. Kasha turns to you. Captain, are you gonna do something? Step between the two men. You step in between the men breaking it up. Before things grow physical. Captain, this is an argument between me and the engineer. Out of my way, Captain, I'm not done. No, you are. Return to your stations, or else. After the exchange, both men look at each other wearily, their aggression taken out. The two of them only left with a glow of shame from their actions. Else. Certainly could have gone better. Despite his jovial comment, Kurt's unable to bring a laugh to anyone, including himself. The two of you are going to shake hands and work together this instant. Look at each other. Or have you forgotten how? They shake hands. The two men let out a weary sigh, almost in unison. Oh, don't get your face for this. Leave. You walk away, making your way to your tent. The two men left to fall in their shame. As you walk away, you're stopped by Templeton. Speaking to yourself, Captain. This is unbecoming. Yeah, Templeton's just... He wants me to do things logically, but then I do, and he's like, no, you should have someone else do that. You should have exercised your authority proper, not gotten physically involved. And who are you to question my authority? Very well. Now this interruption's dealt with, we should return to work. Hey, let Templeton, he doesn't know what the bloody hell he's doing. Trying to stay warm? No. I'm trying to throw things in the boiler. Not people, though. Unfortunately, this game just won't let you throw people in boilers. So unfortunate. Alright, York the Third. I don't really want fish. Caper seals is a worthy investment. And then... 3 people on gathering Emperor Penguins. And then we throw that many penguins in there. We go to the boiler. You know what? We really need more food than we do fuel, right? Actually, we have a lot of emergency fuel supplies. We can afford to throw another penguin in here, rather than another piece of wood. Alright. Assign crew for interview. Mr. Gloss, demoralized. We have 3 crew members left. I could do this, but I only have 2 scientists. I probably shouldn't have done that, but oh well. Alright, 10 take requests. Oh, I just spent all the crew before I take requests. Captain Dusty probably sent Ward my way. But he's taken well to the job. Aye, call me Dr. Tilly Ward now. Not Tilly. Timmy Ward now, Captain. Well, you need a certificate for that first. He's been a great help, thank you, Captain. But it seems young Ward has taken to his new calling. Never expected the boy to move into medicine. Suppose people could surprise you, Captain. Sure, any spare timber? Quote me to carve up some totems. Totems? Hey, for good fortune on the ice. Some feel uneasy after what happens. Sorry, but we need that timber for emergencies. Alright, worth asking though. Crew will understand. And they do, as nobody gets demoralized, we don't lose decorum. And we don't really need to gain me either here. Anyways, nobody wants to talk, probably for dinner and see what to do after. Crew have their meal, same as usual. Alright. We're gonna call it a night. You're gonna go to sleep. Captain, I've noticed a decline in my writing, and first I blamed the cold. Then I realized I'd often drink a cup of coffee as I write. It's going to be more difficult to keep up energy about it. How much coffee would you need to drink to make such a difference? I admit I have grown quite dependent on caffeine. Shameful thing. I've often struggled to sleep no matter how exhausted I was. It would never come. Professor channels hours into research, always believed. Can you believe the nerve of that Hammond fellow? He's lucky Kurt didn't just wallop him. Aye, but Kurt could have handled it better. But Hammond is annoying, yes. Captain, there's something I want to ask of you. Something difficult. If I don't make it back to land, someone will have to tell my family. Face to face, not through a letter from the benefactor. And I want to come from someone I trust. Could you? Of course, as your captain, it would be my duty. It's not your duty as captain, I know you don't have to do that, so thank you. It would be a great favor. I trust you. Yeah, this is how you get a lot of loyalty before things start going to shite. Because once we get into the tent, things start going real bad, people start losing their mind, Tucker starts talking to tin cans, everybody hates each other, everybody's demoralized, and everything's going to shite. The captain knows Kurt hastily approaching Hammond. I should apologize for happening this morning. You should, or you want to. We shouldn't get into that. We should be bigger. More mature men. Alright, let's leave it at that. I'm not going to be starting on this again. Right, good. Aye. To share a brief silence. You can be on your way now. Right, of course. To return to their duties as you return to your own. Can't stand the fairness of you yapping at me all night. Should know this will happen. The chief was bound to fly off the handle eventually, eh? Hey. Can't say I feel bad for Mr. Darling anyway. I notice how I keep swapping their 2 voices. Don't know why. That fight was something, wasn't it? 2 jumped of egos, cracking under pressure, I imagine. You've never been in a fight, have you, 2 Johns? No, nobody's ever tried to fight me. Not surprised. You're massive, but you wouldn't hurt a fly. I mean, I literally have him hunt penguins, so I don't think that's exactly correct. Cap, you have a pen, don't you? This is something I need you to write. Of course. I'm giving a great deal of thought. I'm gonna make sure we all make it back home. But if I don't, I want you to pass something on. Should I die with the ownership and rights of my films divided up amongst my children? It'll set them up for many years. Could you pass this on? Can you pass this on for me, Robin? The rights to your films, that's the only message you want to pass on? Anything else would seem hollow. It's looking out for them, at least. You've been bothering my dogs for some time now. They're having fun. Are you shaken by this morning's events? I've covered much worse incidents in the city. Yes, but you can return home after that. Grant my dogs a rest. And grant yourself one at that. Alright. And that appears to be what everyone has to say. Skip to next week. Yep, just 50-50. More Keeper Seals, more freezing people, more research. I think we're gonna send the people on a special hunt if we have a chance to next week. A lot of people are freezing, but it's fine. Alright. I'm gonna say we need to set it up soon, because it's, yeah, the furnace, it's winter. I need it. I hate how the first moments it goes really fast, but first, let's set up a special hunt. For Emperor Penguins, I say. Now, I'm pretty sure this costs research. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's only 5 Emperor Penguins. I don't really think that's worth it. Yeah, no, that's worth it. Let's just get some of this. 1, 2, 3. We'll just have all the frozen guys do this. Alright, Hammond. Cap'n. Back with Hoppin last week. Sorry. Fuel goes in, we stay alive. Alright. Now, I am going to lock down and prepare for winter, I think, at the beginning of next week, because I know it happens by, like, week 22. And I don't want to do this too fast. Finish requests, there's no request for today. This is, like, the only day with no requests. It's on the menu this week. Actually, it'd probably be best to skip ahead a few weeks, straight into... Yeah, I think it's best to just lock it down now, because we have decent food supplies and okay fuel. So we have decent supplies. So we're gonna lock down camp right after we do everything we need to do. Fighting the penguins. We could get a bit of, but we don't need it, actually. Who's frozen? 2 scientists. Would really like to make medical comforts, but... oh well. Still haven't made a single one of those. It's nice to have medical comforts, but we don't have any. You want free for an interview? Yes, you're gonna have another interview with Mr. Glossy. I will call the crew for dinner. I do not want to lock down camp just yet. Crew have their meal. As I'd like to see if they want to talk. You got close to shore quick. It was this native benefactor that to be the second officer on this expedition. I'm simply doing my duties. Aye, sure. Summer's winding down. We're hunkering down soon. Most likely. Good. No. Hammond, a question. I told ya, I'm not getting quoted in your bloody report. Calm down, it's not about you. You worked with Mr. Templeton before, yes? Regrettably, yes. Do you happen to know his age? Wasn't listed down in the records, and estimating based on his appearance is difficult. He's younger than he looks, that's all I know. Doctor, good evening. Something on your mind? I was curious. You've been awfully quiet after, well, last week's scrap-up. Your visits have been scarce, and you've kept your own at dinner. Well, I suppose I'm still licking my wounds. Last week's incident was something of an embarrassment. I just wanted to check in, see if you're okay. Be fine. Just need to settle to this damn pride of mine. Thank you, son. Doctor. Well, I suppose. Hey. And Junior. Hunting season seems to be winding down. Let's see, we only have a handful of weeks left before the wildlife begin to clear up. Do you ever share rations with the dogs? They do the hunting after all, and they rightly reap some of the spoils. They have their own rations. I'm sure they prefer my cooking to that broth. You might try them, I won't stop you. Alright, Kurt, you have anything to say? No. Templeton. Kath, I've been looking over the contracts, and I feel an update should be made on your own. Your work has far exceeded your pay scale as first mate. Once we return to land, I arrange to receive Hunt's promised pay in addition to your own. I'm honored, but the pay should be divided up among the crew. Among the crew? Well, your humility is admirable. But shan't argue your wishes. I will arrange it once we return to land. I'm certain the crew will be pleased. I pay people for how hard they work. I'm not a communist. Captain made a decision. None of these expeditions is no guarantee I will return home. My writings are inside a case along Dr. Nutley's equipment. The rest of you return to land without me. I want my writings to be published. Finished, unfinished, doesn't matter. Make sure of it, Kasha, I promise. Thank you, Captain. Thank you. I'm only following the crew's story. It shouldn't die with me. Right. That's everyone. Alright. Hey, you know what? Let's go to week 18. We could save a little bit of fuel and food here, actually. Yeah, we really could have saved more fuel and food here, but based on, I say we have one more day left before things really become cold. This is probably our last week before winter actually comes down. Yeah. Because we need as much fuel and food as possible, and then the food can double as fuel. Again, we'll get the... Now, I know this game well enough to know that the glitch does not mean you can... If this happens and you see where it assigns to the same person twice, you won't actually get fuel twice, because the game seems to check to see if that's the case. There's two people of the same on there. And if there is, then, well, nothing good happens. You don't get 2 rations. Hey, come on. Bloody hell, it's only fish. Mr. Templeton, would you happen to know if Kurt has any children of his own? I believe he does, several. I understand his oldest son is a lecturer of natural histories. Why do you ask? Well, I notice he tends not to mention his any family. It's hardly either our businesses, Doctor. Right, I apologize for my curiosity. These are conversations that these guys have never had before of me. Wait, I need to throw things in. You're in round for Captain. Keep up this much longer. Winter's coming in. Better cover us up before the cold takes us all. And there should be no request again, yeah. So where there's no request here, these are the weeks that it'll skip if you hunker down. Alright, well, we need to make sure there's at least 50 fuel in here. And we have at least 50 food. There we go. And now, call the crew for dinner. If they have nothing to say, we hunker down. Man, this is a lot. Winter's here. Yes, to pack even to move on to a location, but I'm afraid I'll be staying put for quite some time. Yet hoping they can sit for a few months. The dogs will manage. The crew will have some faith that they will as well. Worried about how the equipment keeps. No, this is how and that. Worried about how our equipment keeps more than anything. More so than the crew themselves. Losing our equipment dooms us all, your dogs included. Hostile mind is rather appreciated. I thought you'd understand. Right. Oi, Junior. Hey, wait, Junior. What is it, Runt? Crew talking about us hiding under some canvas all winter. Is this true? We need to soon. Can't let ourselves get swallowed up in the snow. We've enjoyed this summer as long as we can. Do we really have to? I look forward to waiting around the cold, eh? No, I can't. It's just, do we really have to? Yes, we do. Right. So, you say it's going to get colder from here? Indeed, we've been tracking the dates. We've approached the end of summer. Winter's fast approaching. Shite, it's cold enough as it is already. Yes, I dread what lies ahead of us. Maybe you're wrong. Maybe the weather will hold. It would be a mercy, but I rather doubt it. What is mercy, truly? Nobody knows. Doctor, did you happen to have a hobby of collecting insects as a child? As a matter of fact, I did. I grew up by the countryside, often proud of the forest, and before and after school. Prize my collection was a stag beetle. I showed off to anyone who inquired. Sadly, they only lived 7 years, just as I was grown out of the pastime. but why do you ask? The reason I just had a suspicion. You seem the sort. I know better than to ask for elaborations. Right. None of you have anything important to say. Well, at least not important to me. But we've ran out of people we can send out here, and I mean, it's 15 food. 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's gonna be 3 of you get frostbite. Alright. There's so much talking, I'm gonna literally die of death and taxes. We've been preparing for winter all afternoon. How far is you engineers? Give a silent nod. Good to hear. Here's the cold being kind. He doesn't talk much, does he? Mr. Darling, it seems some of my crew have been curious regarding your family. Oh. Oh, is that so? How old is your eldest? How's your eldest? I recall him being to work at Grandfoot while I had one foot out the door. Henry? He's having a whale of a time. Last I heard, he was beginning to settle down, start a family. Perhaps he already has. I should speak to him once we return. Something to look forward to. Let's retire for the evening. I'll see if morning request, yeah. Great. Last conversation. Closing up for winter soon, I understand. Aye. Something in your mind, Stoke? You're still out there somewhere. These things go eventually, lad. We'll see. Alright, that is all the conversations. We're gonna hunker down for winter as it's... Yeah, week 21's when winter exactly happens. Two crew members will develop freezing. So that's 5 crew members in total, but most won't be able to do anything, so it's better that I do send them into the medical post. Oh, only 4. Only 1 needs to go to the medical post. Until I send them outside to go gather penguins, which will only probably do 2. Because 3 will get cured, then 2 will need to be cured. Kevin Shaw's personal log. Yeah, it skips away from week 18 to week 22. It takes like 2 days to set this up, so... Week 22 is when this happens. Let's go. You have to also have to click on here, right here, in this section over here, otherwise this will just stay blank. Crew has settled down for a long winter. It'll be many months before the canopy is removed, and farther and travel across the ice will be possible. Winter. The crew will be here for quite some time. The winter is long and cold. The winter is long and cold. It carries out in complete darkness. One can lose track of the days. Men are known to go mad in these conditions. It's not uncommon for one's sanity to buckle under stress and fear in extreme conditions. And this proves to be most extreme of all. Complete darkness in the coldest part of the world. It'd be appropriate to keep a constant check of the crew's mental condition one at a time. Sign off. So first off, because I am Robin Shaw, and I'm just a bloody genius. In fact, I'm just so intelligent. I could walk out into the freezing cold, grab a penguin, slowly walk back into the tent without even getting cold, versus everybody else gets frostbite. Also, for anything, it's better if the engineers become freezing, but I have a feeling that in this game, there's some sort of mechanic that stops crew members from getting frostbite. Not crew members. And not specifically frostbite. Yes, they'll develop frostbites. Because I cannot put these guys in here. York the Third. Not yet. We'll take requests before we, Man, there's so much to talk about. You know what? We're gonna continue that in tomorrow's video. Make sure to like, subscribe, and go follow me in Rumble. Well, not tomorrow, just next video. It's probably gonna be Monday. Make sure to like, subscribe, and follow me in Rumble. And until next time, goodbye, and thanks for watching. This has been the most recent episode of Pale Beyond. Hope you all enjoy.